Okay, so if anybody is not comfortable with energy work being done, please say so. If you do want energy work or something comes up and they offer that, please let us know. It's always personal choice. You can always say no, and it will never be given without permission. And so for those who are not familiar with the way we do things, we will open up to a general message, and then as that general message is given, we will then move into personal questions. Everyone can ask up to 2 questions. It's up to everyone how many of the 2. If you only have 1, that's fine, but if you want to ask 2, there's space for that. And then we will close out that space before we move on to the next person. And then there's usually a closing message of sorts. So we will do that, and then afterwards we all talk and mingle and hang out and just chat for a few minutes. And if you have any questions come up about afterwards that you want to speak to us, you're more than welcome to come talk to us. So we will go ahead and begin.
Well, an energy work is going to look a little different today, because Chelsea's going to be the one to do it. So yes. We've learned that the deepening of the channel, it's hard for me to consciously get up and move around. As some of you have seen last time, when I tried to get up afterwards, I was like falling over myself. So Chelsea they've entrusted Chelsea with energy work. She's very skilled in this. So it's also a part of the channel. So she channels the energy too, but in a different way. So.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. You want to do a grounding before we start?
Yeah. So if everybody just wants to take a minute to focus on just quieting their mind for just these moments and grounding in to the energy below, to the earth, to any of the elements that you feel called to that help you clear your mind and just help you feel centered in a way that we normally don't allow ourselves as we go through our day-to-day. Because in this space, we can just let go and be fully present in the moment as we let Spirit lead, standing in our own autonomy and power. And as we do, I'm going to turn that music down. Are we ready to begin?
Yes, we are ready.
Can you do a scan of Kaylah's body at this time to see if there is anything that is needed before we move on?
There is nothing needed. Everything is clear and ready to go.
And can you do a scan of my body to see if there is anything needed before we begin?
Yes, there is soothing energy flowing.
Thank you.
Of course.
And as we open up today, is there a topic that you would like to speak on as we begin?
Yes, we would like to talk about the mind once again, and many of you will say, oh, we've heard this a million times. However, this topic is very important as it ties into isolation and feeling alone. And many of you know on your spiritual path, there are points and times where you have what many would like to call a dark night of the soul, where you feel quite isolated and alone and lost. And we would like you to know that you are not quite lost, even though you may feel it. But there are many coming into your sphere that are here to help you, as you have made it here today, and we are very happy that you have. And what we will say is this is a figment of the mind that likes to grab on and to twist and turn a story of being alone as a part of your journey nonetheless, but something that you are coming into contact with and understanding on a deeper level. And so the influence and information that we would like to flow to you is that you are not alone here today, and by changing your mindset ever so slightly, you will begin to see those that come into contact with you. You will find a brief moment of time where you align your energy to find those that are going to be beneficial on your life path. And you have heard us preach and talk about finding your own inner guide and understanding and trusting yourself. And while that is important, self-trust in and of itself, community and healing is important as well. But many of you have had interactions and influences that have not been of the highest good and have come in contact with those who have been to a detriment of you. And you'll say, how can I quite open to anyone who is going to potentially harm me? but you will see the divine grace and intervention in that situation as it was meant to be. It was meant to teach you something about your own power and the way that you give it away. While we talk about self-trust and finding a grounded center, this is very important in navigating who you interact with. And at this point in your life, you are finding an opening to those who are of benefit to you rather than detriment. And so trust in the places and spaces that you are finding yourself, as it is time to commune with those who will see you for who you are. And that in and of itself is healing.
And why is this important now? Why is this coming forward now?
Because many feel alone, and their gifts are dimming because they are not using them, because they feel that they are not enough, and they feel like, who am I in this sea of people? But you are individual, and you are unique, and you matter. And you matter in community, in a collective. It is important not to compare your gifts to others, as you are doing a disservice to yourself. And if you are new to this journey, not to get caught up in what you do not know and how far others may seem to be, as there is an acceleration happening and much wisdom that you have innate information and in tune with. Do not sell yourself short. But we are bringing it back to a collective that is finding healing together and seeing each other in that. You will learn that healing together is possible when you thought it was not.
And so what do we need moving forward?
It's important to first focus on your foundation of grounding and finding trust within yourself. Can you pause for a moment and turn off the TV? Can you put down the social media? And can you reconnect to yourself? Can you connect with nature? This will bring you much insight. Presence is a gift. And you will learn much about yourself in presence. But many are running on distraction because it is easier to be distracted than to be present in what you are dealing with. But the more you find presence, the more you will find ease. And in hardship, you will find ease.
How can you find ease in hardship when this is usually the most difficult time to find a centered place?
Because hardship is asking you where you can surrender. Where can you let go of control, and allow yourself to flow into where you need to go. Many times hardship is coming from you wanting it to be a certain way. And then you are frustrated. Why is this not working? Because it is not meant to work in the way that you would like it to. There may be a better and easier way if you allow yourself to drop the need to control it and allow yourself to flow in it. So we are asking you to take a moment to pause and to take a breath and to ground into the moment. What do I need to know right now? What am I fighting against that is not working? And how can I flow a little bit easier? There's always ease after hardship. And if you are in hardship, it is coming. But how can you get out of your way?
Is there anything else about this that is important for us to know?
You will find that through connection, you will gain much insight into different directions in which you can go. It's important to develop this self-trust and inner guide in order to know which path is the best way to go for you. Try not to overthink it, as that is very common. The more calm you feel, the easier you will move into your next direction. But nothing is a mistake, mind you. It is information. And that slight shift away from shame and self-pity and harmful things that you say to yourself, the redirection of that energy into, what is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson that I can take from this? Will help you.
Why do we need to experience these to begin with? Can't we just step into our power?
Well, no. And you know best that it is an untangling that needs to happen in order to find your path forward. Many of you are entangled with others through lessons and things that you are learning about the ways in which you were taught to show up and the ways in which do no longer work for you. And so understanding where you are and where you've come from is important in order to move forward. If you could step into your power, you would be doing it, would you not? There's a lesson here.
And is there anything else before we open to questions that you would like to speak on about this topic?
Not at this time. It feels complete.
Brooklyn.
Is there anything that I need to know at all?
Yes. This is where the mind conversation comes in for you. As you allow your mind to go and 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 go, and you get the point. But can you find a grounded center for yourself and allow the strong emotional pull that you feel and the panic and the anxiety? Can you allow the earth to take that and to regenerate into a calmer state of mind and being? And so for this, can you do a little research and find what works best for your physical body to get you out of the mind? And movement would probably be the best bet for you, as meditation will only make the mind go a little bit more crazy. And so getting out of your head and into your body would be helpful.
Go ahead.
What can I know about Alan, my son?
Right now, what is unfolding is for his highest good. To trust in that, for you will see a new understanding soon. But first, you must get out of your own way.
And as we close that out, are we ready to move on to the next questions?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So this is going to be one of my last sessions for a long while, I imagine. So if there's anything that you'd like me to know, please feel free to touch on that, if not the questions that I have to ask. But my first question is, can you share anything about where my soul comes from and what gifts or purpose I carried into this lifetime?
What we can say about this is that you are very gifted. There are many different facets to your abilities that you are beginning to step into and to learn about. However, we cannot speak much to that, as that would interfere with the unfolding that is about to happen. There is something about the loss that has happened in your life that is leading you to where you need to go. And it is important to look at the overarching lesson to these losses that are at play. Where do you dim yourself after loss, and how do you move after loss? This will give you key insight into where you are going and the abilities and qualities that you are developing within yourself. We know this is a soft spot and not something that you like to think about a lot or to go into much, as there is a go, go, go nature here. But we implore you to slow down a bit and to reflect on this, as there's much to come to the surface and much power to be stepped into in the coming weeks, months, and years.
Thank you. So my partner and I have and are going through some significant life transitions. What is the energetic dynamic between us, and is this relationship part of my soul's path forward?
Okay, so show me more images than... It's almost like a very much a push and pull dynamic. Like I'm seeing like a back and forth, back and forth. Let me see. Hold on. There's definitely a higher purpose and lesson to this relationship that you are unfolding in real time. I'm seeing like a brick wall. Hold on. That's why. Okay. So basically they're like shutting me off from any information of yours. I kind of felt this the last time too, but this is a part of like developing your gifts. That you have very strong intuition and that you know deep down where you're going, but it's almost like stepping into that self-trust and moving forward with that rather than like hesitating so much and questioning yourself over and over and over again. So, sorry. Brick wall.
And as we close that out, are we good to move on to the next questions?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay.
So where I'm at physically, menopause sort of started happening, I think, in my 40s. This is when I started getting like hot flashes and stuff. But occasionally they still show up and they can't be hot flashes anymore. So I was looking for a little insight on that.
So images here too. So it's almost like it's starting at your feet and it's moving up, like the more that you're stepping into like the power, your direction, your intuition, you're opening different aspects of your own energetic field, which are burning off, so to speak, like old energy that's holding you back. It's like a reworking of your energetic field, but there's a need to find a balance here. But I'm seeing something about working bottom up, so maybe you need some more grounding. Would be beneficial. I'm seeing like feet to knees to hips. So working top or bottom up.
Okay. What can you tell me about our new puppy, given that other people have had information come through on her?
Quite a rascal she is. Ha. There's a connection to soul energy, your soul and her soul, that is direct connection and support on this new path forward. Even though it may feel quite chaotic, she is teaching you quite a lot about where you are going and about patience and balance. There is much energy work that she does on your behalf as well, that you are not quite privy to just yet or coming to know. That is all we can say for now.
Okay. And as we close that out, Is there anything needed before we continue?
Yes, a clearing in energy would be beneficial.
Can you assist with this?
Yes. Okay, we are ready to continue.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to start by saying that the grounding information that I got at the last session has been very beneficial to me, and to hear that again is confirmation. I'd like to know, is there a single belief that I'm currently holding that is limiting my expansion?
Yes, the topic of aloneness and isolation can be holding you back from moving forward. Where can you open a little more in regards to this? How can you connect into your higher self and allow that energy to flow and allow you to truly connect with what is around you? We do not necessarily mean people, but animals and nature in and of itself. You will find much expansion in allowing this energy to flow and the connection with nature, as well as coming in contact with those around you who will teach you many things about where you are going.
Go ahead.
I would like to know if you could tell me anything about my dog, Lily.
I just keep hearing animal communication, animal communication. So I am taking that as you have a gift of animal communication. And maybe that's what they mean by connecting in with the animals and nature around you. Because I think she has a lot to tell you. But it's tuning in, it's believing in that you can connect in with her. Because I'm seeing like a direct connection to her, like a third eye connecting into her, if that makes sense. But with the grounding, sorry, Jess. What? So with the grounding belief, there is a block around the grounding cord chakra area that is almost keeping you stuck from moving forward. That's associated with this aloneness feeling. It's like destabilizing. This can be cleared with assistance if you would like.
I would.
We want you to get up. Okay. He's gonna be behind you.
Or did you say me?
No.
Did you? With my legs?
No, yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. I did.
not like that.
I can't hear you.
She's clearing her.
Oh, oh.
What you will come to understand is that your energetic field is quite different from those around you. And this will come with understanding in time. But this is a step into accessing different abilities within your field over time. And so continuing to practice your grounding and finding your center will be important. Is there anything that you would like to add, Chelsea, to this?
Your energy field is very... Is it okay for me to speak about it?
Yes.
Okay. Your energy field is very, I don't want to say top heavy. It's very strong, your connection to your higher self. It is more stagnant, midway down. It's like trying to pull it down. It needs that grounding that it's not there. It flows so well up here and all through the rest of the top of your body. But it's focusing it, bringing it down through those blocks, those barriers that seem to be that sense of self, that part that really holds your, stability is not the best word. It's like identity. It's identity. And your stability in that. And so it's calling that part of you down and grounding it down into the ground, because that part is unsupported. That part is not as, this part of you is wide open. That connection's there. It's very strong. But it needs the ability to find that hold that keeps you in your presence when you're doing it. So pulling it down and grounding yourself and allowing that to flow through the bottom part of you, that part of you that's who you are, will be really beneficial in connecting in the abilities that you have and bringing them down into the present, into the physical world.
Thank you.
Okay, are we complete?
We are complete.
Me.
And is there anything that's needed before we continue?
Good evening.
Energy and clearing would be helpful, yes.
Could you assist with that?
Yes, definitely.
Is you ready for me? Okay, I can't say.
Now we are ready to open to Miss Twyla.
Okay.
Okay. First thing I'd like to ask is thank both of y'all. And for the last couple of times, a little breakdown. But the 22nd, something was a big turnaround, and when I asked, is there anything still around me? I know I'm still using the technique that you told me, but I felt like something major kind of broke through. My heart was breaking due to my family situation, and I've chosen to back away because I thought a lot of what was going on was me, but I realized it's not. And I felt an overall peace after I broke down and cried for days and days and days. And I felt like a lot was released. And could you just elaborate on the things that you had done before and that we had talked about with what was going on in the attachments and things like that?
Yes, you are moving through the chains that bind you. Part of this is familial contact, but not necessarily in a negative way in which you may perceive being judged or things like that. What we will speak on is there is a clarity of sorts that is coming to you about the relationships within your life and the valuable lessons that you have learned from those. And you are beginning to see clarity, and the relationships may be shifting in your life to one of the most optimal outcomes possible, because you are freeing yourself from things that were tying you down. But something to understand here is that is a self-fulfilling issue, one in which you have come into this life to untangle and move forward in. And these relationships served as experiences and points in time to help you see these things about yourself and accept these different aspects of self, which is why you feel more peace and clarity. You do not necessarily need the external validation or fear of judgment running the show as much as it used to. And you are finding that you are able to step into your abilities and being more open and honest about who you are with those that come in contact with you. And it is important for you to understand that the community that you are finding now sees you, and they want your symbiotic relationship of learning and healing and growing together, because like they see you, you see them, and it is a beneficial relationship going each way.
Go ahead with your second question.
I can see where I set all this up, and I was actually smiling after the whole couple of days and realized that I felt like the purpose was that I had set it up to go back to my true self, or to feel what I had pushed down for years and years and years, and not have the faith in myself. And it's about my happiness and what finds me joy. And I have found my clients are getting younger. I tried this several years ago, but society wasn't quite ready for it. But it was a group of us that were working with kids. And I had a 7-year-old, which was my youngest, but working right now with the gifted children that's coming in. It's my joy and my peace. 11 years old and under, they're so gifted. And of course that brought up things with myself that where I had been pushed down to a certain extent. Bullied, beaten, but things are changed now. Like I said, I can see where I could just see me putting all this scenario together.
It is quite beautiful, actually. It is quite beautiful.
Yeah.
And you are truly moving into your teacher era, even though we know that you have been doing that for quite some time. But this time you are embodying that teacher era. You are allowing the energy to flow, and you are allowing not necessarily a guard to be up in order to teach those things.
Thank you. Haven't got time for any thoughts over here.
Is it okay for her to ask?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Twyla. You said you had something else you wanted to ask on that.
Could you just elaborate, or can you, with something, because it came through when I was going through with what I was going at the time, and my grandmother always told me to read up on the Rainbow Warriors and Rainbow Children, and that has really come to the front now, especially with working with kids. And I know that's what the shaman that named me was for a reason, and I understand why, but that's really coming out right now. Is there anything that you could elaborate with the Rainbow Children Warriors, or any information on that book to close?
Yes. What we will say is this, is that there are many incarnations that are happening now of this group, and you are directly working with them. It is a co-creation of spirit with these individuals, ones in which you are learning quite a lot and also teaching quite a lot. What you are teaching here is the groundedness and understanding of this earth plane, in which there might be some lacking information on that end for them. But they are teaching you many things as well, as you will come in to learn this very soon. However, we cannot speak much more on this topic,
Yes.
as that will interfere with your own learning.
Yes.
And as we close this out, is there anything needed before we continue?
No, we are good to continue.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, I feel there may be attachments. Intuitive self knows what to do in my present situation, but overwhelmingness blocks that, and I don't even recognize who I am on earth. The earth me, the public me is ugly. It's angry, and that's not what I'm made of. And how may I help instead of staying in this loop? What different path may I take in order to help this and find my true self again?
What we will say is that the aloneness factor also is pertinent here in your overwhelming feeling of not being able to clear what is present here. And so we would like to offer to assist, but in a co-creative way in which your higher self is also assisting as well. And if you are open to that, we can go ahead and help with that.
I would love that. Thank you.
Chelsea.
Do I have permission?
Oh, yes.
What we would like to highlight here is the knee-jerk reaction to self-criticism, and then that reflection outward onto the world. In what way can you find your heart center once more and move from that place? How can you find a self-love center and not be so hard on yourself? This will help you in moving forward, and it is okay to ask for help. Chelsea, is there anything that you would like to add to this?
Is it okay to speak?
Yes.
Okay. Your field is very protective. It does not allow access easily, so it took much time for it to even give permission for me to assist. And there are barriers that prevent people from accessing you even with permission, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So you are very protected. Your higher self keeps a lock and key system on yours that does not just allow, even with vocal permission, necessarily without a spiritual level of permission. There was an attachment that it was sitting, it was coming in through a door. It's the neck and upper back area. That area had a door that it had come in. There's something it's accessing, and I don't know if that's past life or current life, but it was coming in through a connection there. And so it was removed and closed. That door was closed and sealed, so it won't easily give permission for that again, but there was permission given for that access at some point. So
Thank you.
Do you have another question?
Yes. Will my life be able to calm and overcome difficulties in financial problems be resolved this year? That's a weird way of putting
But we know what you mean. And what we will say is this, to the point that we made earlier, can you get out of your own way? And in what ways is this showing you something that you are not paying attention to? What is within yourself that you are lacking and thus showing up in a monetary sense? What is the lesson here? We know that it is frustrating that we give you many questions, back to your own question. However, it is important to reflect on these different things, as you will find that you will gain much information from self-reflection than given the answer. It will mean a little bit more to you in the coming days. What we'll say is this: you are the creator of your own reality, and we know that that is hard to see now. But like we said, ease follows hardship. And so where in your life can you find a door of ease or just lightness for a moment? And follow that. Allow yourself to rest and relax into the moment and reconnect to self, your true inner self, not your ego self or the self that likes to criticize yourself. Where can you be a bit softer with you and thus finding more flow? Does this make sense?
Yes. It was, I think part of this is due to a narcissistic relationship for 7 years and having to protect for 7 years.
Yes, that definitely has something to do with it. But like others, where can you take your power back? And where can you shine your light moving forward? You are not tied down and bound to this forever. But it is up to you to see that and to move forward in that.
Thank you.
Of course.
As we close that out, is there anything needed before we continue?
Clear energy and an energetic boost would be beneficial.
Can you assist with this?
Of course. That is complete and we are ready to go.
Okay, go ahead.
Last time I asked about a dog and his healing, and it was relatively new at the time that had occurred, and I'm wrapping my mind around it a bit more. So he's looking worse and probably feeling worse. Is there anything I can do physically or spiritually to help him feel more comfortable in his body, and to know if he wants to be here or transition, and then what's my part with that?
Your part is the surrender aspect. It is allowing yourself to be and to not necessarily do, because you do a lot for others. And there is a refocusing on yourself and an understanding of where a soul is and where they want to go without the need to control that. So can you find a space of surrender and connection to yourself in this moment in time? And we know that that is difficult to hear as you want to help your animal who is struggling. However, this is the most beneficial thing that you can do for your animal.
Is that because he's linked? Because we're linked and he's teaching something? Or?
He takes a lot on of what you are dealing with as well. There is definitely a soul connection there where he has come in to do work on your behalf and with you. Like you have seen before, he has been teaching you many things as you have tried to heal stuff within him, and you have found healing that needs to happen within you. And this is by design.
Because of that, and the word sticking in my mind as stagnant, I stumbled on someone else doing energy work, and I took a free session. And through the process of it, they've offered to do a session for him, which I guess is going to happen this weekend. But what they say they're working with is similar to what you two are doing, as far as I can understand it. Working with a dragon energy on heal. It's led me there because of him. They're working on a dragon energy, and I was wondering what this is, and will it actually do anything for him? But what is this dragon energy? And because of him is what kind of led me there to even look at this. So I know that is growth. So I guess he's going to do anything for him. But what is this dragon energy? Is it real?
Dragon energy is quite real, as they are a race of beings that have many different abilities. It is an energy that can be channeled to help the collective as well. However, we cannot speak on whether this will help your pet or not, as that would interfere with the progression of where things are going. But dragon energy is definitely real, and it can be channeled.
Beneficially, or
What do you
is
mean
it
by
good?
like anybody?
Is it good to explore, I guess?
But that is up to you and your own intuition to decide. And we know that you know what that is.
Okay.
And as we close that out, is it okay to continue?
Sorry. Given the energy today, this would be a good point to wrap it up.
Perfect. Is there any closing messages that you would like to add?
As you have learned today, there are many of you who are stepping into your own power in other ways. There have been moments of time of outsourcing information that may not be of the highest good, and you are learning about that and moving through that, and that is set up by design by your own self coming in here. And there's much to learn with this. You're developing your own way of seeing the world, and it is important to tune into your own intuition and inner guide and move forward with self-trust and authenticity in self. Many of you have different types of energetic fields that you are coming to understand and be able to move through. It is not important to compare your fields or what you have or what you do not, as that is not of importance. However, learning more about yourself and tuning into yourself will be of great help moving into the future. You are not alone on this journey, as all of you here have something in common and can benefit from one another, as you have learned here today. You are all doing good work, and we trust that you will continue to do so. We are all sending you good energy and love, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
Of course.
And as we close that out, closing those doors so that everyone holds their autonomy, their space, their fields, and their protection. We give thanks and come back to the present.